on live fire, that objective game type. I feel like it's really going to come down to the team that's got their prac in as a squad. You can have your individual skills on the sticks, but that communication needs to be tight for this map.
Absolutely, and that's what makes this lineup so exciting. Both teams have storied histories together, and that teamwork is really going to translate into this first game. And Strongholds, it's all about those rotations and moving around the map, and I think it's going to really lend well to the strengths of both of these top-tier squads.
I really think so as well, Justin. I just want to say we're about to get started. Before we do, those of you at home, make sure you do share the stream, get it out there, get Mum, Dad, and Uncle Bob in here. This is the start of something special. This is the beginning of a new era of Halo Esports. This is the HCS ANZ Open 1. We are incredibly proud to kickstart the new esports program for Halo, a new era for Halo fans around the world. This is going to be absolutely something else. Remember to support your teams, get your skins, and get supporting the regions as well. But alas, we are underway. Let's get things started. I'm going to hand it over to you, Justin.
Yep, hashtag CrocGang. ANZ Halo is back, and we're going to be kicking it off with Seduce. Absolute monster. And he's going to be running through there. No, now we're on board with Brattles, and I think Brattles, he's a great player to highlight on this squad. He's very consistent. You can always expect him to be doing the right things on the map. And now Barcode, we highlighted him before. He's got that sniper rifle, checking all these sight lines. Two players there doing well to hold both of them back. And Barcode, so much confidence there, challenging Brattles. But the amount of cover work that Brattles was using there, he managed to stay alive, and his teammate got the clean up there, Hoots.
Yeah, did a good effort to stay alive there, but unfortunately 2 is better than 1. I'm really interested to see on this map what kind of positions teams choose to try and hold to maintain control over the majority of the map. You know, it's very early days, and that's what's going to be quite interesting to see is different teams only having the game for 5 days or so, finding the strategies that they try and employ in some of these objective game types. You know, the nest, I find, has been quite an important aspect of this map. So do people use the nest to try and hold and keep a sight line on both the C and the B capture points? All that stuff's going to be really interesting to see, and it's going to be, I think, a different approach from a lot of teams now. But look, to start off with, we're seeing a BBR with a strong out-of-the-gate start here, 28-2 lead, and it just seems right now that both teams are kind of feeling each other out a little bit, just getting map control and trying to sort out a strategy.
Absolutely, yeah, BBR with that early lead, and just as we say that, NUTRIBULLET does get 2 strongholds, so points coming on the board for them. Currently on board with Madzi. Very strong BR shot from him. 2 players there, 2v2, and they both go down. And now switching over to Seduce, finding himself Brattles. There's 3. Triple kill for him. Already going massive on day 1, Hoots. Seduce, what a monster.
Straight into it, straight into it. I love it. And not just that, it's the capture as well, and maintaining full control now, actually, for NUTRIBULLET briefly, although it looks like they still will actually hold that. So now's the time for their score to really start cracking up as they start to hold these points, start to slay, and we can see here, just looking at the scoreboard as well, Seduce, he's off to a very strong start with 7 kills, but we're on board with Prades here with the camo, and that's an interesting aspect as well, Justin, that we should talk about that's changed a bit from previous Halos, is these power-ups, whether it's the camo or the overshield, it's just used perfectly there by Prades, but these power-ups, they don't get used straight away upon pickup, so there's a real tactical element when you pick that power-up up. Do you use it straight away, or do you hold on to it, move around the map a little bit more, and then activate it when you actually need it? It's a really tricky situation to weigh up, but we can see here Barcode being really sneaky here and using that repulsor as well. It seems Az is completely unaware as to what's going on, but Barcode just fantastic use of cover here. Brattles finally takes him down. But using that equipment, and what we spoke about earlier as well, is how people use it in different ways, whether it's just knocking your opponent off the map or just knocking them somewhere where they don't want to be. It's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out.
Couldn't be more right about that one, Hoots. And now on board with Seduce again with that fresh sniper rifle. He's got 8 bullets to play with. He'll have to see if he can find some visors through his scope. He's checking all the angles, and it does look like BBR. Oh, Seduce managing to find one. Another one in the long hole there. Tries to connect on Evil. Evil ducks and dives out of there. Fresh mag into the sniper rifle, and we can see down the bottom of the screen that NUTRIBULLET on a triple cap at the moment. BBR desperately trying to get a stronghold. They managed to do, but those points are still ticking up, and NUTRIBULLET, they're starting to bloat out that lead there, Hoots.
Yeah, they've really gotten into the flow of it now. Fantastic snipe from Seduce there. He's really starting to outslay, already on 12 kills, as you can see, unfortunately taken down there. But as you said before, Justin, you're right. They've started to maintain map control. holding these 2 capture points. Obviously, you only need 2 capture points to be scoring. So as long as you've got those 2, you're still scoring. Slaying becomes less relevant, but it is important to keep slaying to maintain map control. Just looking at the scoreboard here for BBR, Ad's only on 1 kill, so struggling to get in the rhythm a bit, it seems. So he's going to have to really try and lift a bit, get those slays, and start leading his team.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we're on board with Dads himself in a 1v1 versus Barco. And you see there his little cheeky strafe. Barco, just such a hard kill. I mean, I always get sweaty palms when I come up against Barco in matchmaking. Glad I'm not playing against him today. Now we're with Madzi moving through the tunnels. Does get a trade there, so I'll have to rotate onto another player now. Again, with Barcode here. Capturing that A stronghold, now rotating through. Brattle's being very sneaky in the corner there, but it doesn't matter. Barco getting the better of him. Just Brattle's not hitting that final shot with the battle rifle to clear him out there, Hoots.
Yeah, NUTRIBULLET really put a long run of score on. I think they actually went about 100 points straight before BBR was able to arrest some momentum back. But we have seen now, after BBR's managed to regain a bit more control and are trying to claw their way back. Unfortunately here, though, it's NUTRIBULLET using that repulsor again really well. Madzi there. We're jumping back on with Ads, who's still struggling just on that 1 kill. It is hard to try and maintain map control when you aren't keeping the other team on a respawn timer. So I don't know what the deal with Ads is here right now, whether he should maybe try and stay back a little bit. He does seem to be running in quite a bit without much help, but we can see a fight here for this camo as Barcode's just holding down the fort with a double kill, almost for the triple, but unfortunately he's taken down by Brattles.
Yeah, old man Ads struggling a little bit. You know, he's the breadwinner with the bread stick for his team currently. And now we're on board with Brattles, a personal favorite of mine. We'll have to see how he moves around the map here. And, you know, this early on with Halo Infinite, the meta and how the maps flow and all that kind of stuff has really yet to be figured out. And I think someone like Brattles, he just leans on the Halo fundamentals. You won't see him doing anything flashy. He just puts himself in the right spots. You can see he's being very cautious about his sight lines with that sniper, wanting to maintain that power weapon, because that's a key to get them back into this game, Hoots.
Yeah, absolutely. And NUTRIBULLET here have managed to get back control. They're starting to score again. So, look, BBR have clawed their way back in a little bit with time. I think that the run that NUTRIBULLET's having in terms of their score has slowed down a little bit. So BBR's been able to get back into the game somewhat, but it is a very big gap to come back from. But one thing that we have mentioned before, Justin, is that that's the beauty of this game type, is that you can be down very far and still be able to work your way back into a game. Fantastic work there by Brattles, getting the triple kill and helping to clear some of that out. That's actually all 4 dead for NUTRIBULLET. So this is a time when BBR really can start to set up on the map, grab some of these positions and try and keep NUTRIBULLET away.
Yeah, game's not over yet, and we can see BBR getting those 2 caps, so they're going to be putting points on the board. They're going to have to go on quite a bit of a run here to come back, but game is certainly not over. Now we're checking out Dante. Haven't given him much love so far. He's going to be rotating through, checking on the spawners in A. He finds Madzi. He's sniffing him out. He's trying to get him out of there, hunting, but Madzi just using his cover so well. Dante is completely lost, and look at that. The help comes in to help take out Madzi there, but Dante goes down straight away. And BBR, they're still putting points on the board. It does look like they're going for the triple cap there, Hoots.
A bit of organised chaos back there in the garage, but you're right. Yeah, BBR are starting to make a bit of a comeback. They actually had all 3 points at one point, although it looks like NUTRIBULLET are on the verge of potentially capping 2, although some good defense there from BBR, managing to hold that second position and keep scoring. So it's going to be very interesting to see. I haven't been able to tell whether there has been one particular capture point that seems to be most of the focus. B is that one that often you find at the start of games, at least there's that mad initial rush for, but it doesn't seem like either team right now has committed to holding just 2, because that's obviously how this game works in terms of scoring. You only need to be holding 2. So some teams can choose to purely focus on 2 points to hold and say, we'll just give up this other one, that doesn't matter. So haven't actually been able to tell that yet, but seeing Ads is starting to string a couple of kills together, which is good. If he starts to get back into the zone a bit, then we can maybe see this scoreboard back a little bit. But as I say, that NUTRIBULLET now, 3 caps being held, and they're going to start scoring way quicker. Seduce with the camo, leading his, coming second on his team at least with 17 kills. But he's going to be very sneaky there with the back smack, playing this perfectly. Sometimes with that camo, you just need to know when to hold your shot, get into position so you can go for the back smack and then try and tee up a double or a triple off that.
Exactly right, and that's what he's doing right now, contesting that B hill, suppressing the players, trying to be as sneaky as possible. The camo does run out, but he's on a killing spree once again. Seduce just going absolutely massive, almost on that 20 bomb and moving through the map here. BBR still putting points on the board. I mean, they're really starting to catch up here. NUTRIBULLET better watch out because you know, the game is just not yet over yet, Hoots.
Yeah, no, although NUTRIBULLET, they're only about 40 points off, so, and now holding 3 positions, you know, that score is going to start ratcheting up pretty quickly, and that's when you do start to panic when you're on the other team and you see that those points are just piling up, and if you're on respawn, you start to freak out, and that's when you start to lose your head. Mad rushes start, where you're not really playing your life as smart as you should be. But it looks like here that this score is going to keep ticking up. NUTRIBULLET only about 10 points off now, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say I think this is going to be a win for NUTRIBULLET.
I think you could be right, and poor old Dad's still asleep at the wheel, but he'll come back. A Halo veteran like himself, he'll just brush off this game and move on to the next one, and I think that's what we'll be looking out for in Game 2.
Yeah, absolutely. So pretty clean win there from NUTRIBULLET. As we did mention, it was the slaying there that probably wasn't as strong as it should have been for them. So Ads is really going to have to try and figure out how he can get back in. You know, we move to a Slayer game next as well, so that's all that matters. It's purely the kills when we're doing a Slayer game. So Ads has really got to start to work with his team a little bit better to try and get back in it.
I have to jump in here, guys, because, you know, I was shouting out Ads for the arthritis joke, but it turns out he might have actually had it. So, look, if that's a real condition, I apologize, mate. But no, you called it best, Justin, with, you know, a little bit of a sleep at the wheel as we go through that scoreboard. 3 and 22. Look, not a way that you want to start, but, Justin, I think I might just give him a pass and call it a warm-up.
Yeah, it's just a warm-up. First game on stream. He's maybe a little bit nervous even still after all these years. But looking at NUTRIBULLET there, Seduce and Barcode both dropping those 20 bombs, going absolutely huge for their team. And Madsy with a double-digit assist, just putting in so much damage over the map. Having a look at the accuracy, I mean, Ads, you know, struggling to get kills, but his accuracy, top of the scoreboard, which is a surprising stat line to see, but we'll have to see how that translates over to the damage dealt. And look at that, Barcode with 5,600 damage, it's absolutely massive.
Yeah, and